Folks in the house, how's everybody doing? Kind of doing this video as, no, maybe a month or two ago, my brother-in-law, we were talking about Tombstone and I think Gunfight at OK Corral, and he goes, why don't you do a video on, and then Wyatt Earp, I don't know if I mentioned all three. He's like, you should do a video about talking about those three movies, and it's like, okay. And this came about because last night I watched Assault on Precinct 13, the original from 1976. I only saw the 2005 version. And so how I'm going to do this is start with Assault on Precinct 13 and then go into uh, the Wyatt Earp and comparing those movies. But I ended up, John Carpenter made the original, was the director and writer, and he was only the writer in the 2005 version. Is so Assault on Precinct 13. There weren't really any big names on you watched, and then you saw, and Kim Richards, and at that time she did Escape from Witch Mountain. Well, in Assault on Precinct 13, there ain't no escaping to Witch Mountain for her. I was like, it surprises the hell out of you what happens there. It's like, holy shit, this is the girl from Escape from Witch Mountain. And it's like, damn. And then Tony Burton, he was the trainer in for Apollo Creed in the Rocky movies. And then he was it Rocky 4? Where he goes to Russia and he helps Rocky. Um, but yeah, Tony Burton was in this, and at first it's like I don't know these names when they were coming on the screen, so kind of had to do a review. So there are some people that you see it's like, oh yeah, okay, I remember that person or something, but nothing like I say, not big names. But the '76 version, you can watch both. They kind of have the same little premise, but they kind of it's uh, police precinct that is closing down and moving to their new location, and they're just totally shit happens more or less in both versions. In the second one, 2005, Ethan Hawke, Lawrence Fishburne, and Gabriel Brian. I always forget his name. Is a British actor. Um, he's in the movie, but I didn't get the ratings on them. But they're both decent movies to watch. And to be honest, for a remake movie for 1976 to 2005, this was done uh, updated version. It basically works. It isn't. It's like, oh, why'd you Because there are movies that you see, and it's like, why'd you remake that? And it just something that um, it kind of gets you sometimes. I guess I should do. I think I've done that in some of my videos for remakes, but this for Assault on Precinct 13, both version. If you're looking for the older version, it 76. You can tell the film quality and stuff difference between 76 and 2005, but story wise, it works on both of them. So if you're kind of looking for an action movie, uh, quite a bit of shooting, so give you a heads up there. And next, the way it is, uh, gunfight at OK Corral, Tombstone, and Wyatt Earp. All three of them. I grew up with a gunfight at the OK Corral. I watched that tons of times. 1957, its rating was 7.1. You had Burt Lancaster as Wyatt Earp and Kirk Douglas as Doc Holliday. And so this movie is more of a build up to the gunfight that happened at the OK Corral, where, and then the movie more or less moves on from there, and that's it. And that's basically from 1957, so that's the storyline that was used then. For Tombstone and Wyatt Earp, the gunfight at OK Corral's kind of in the middle or a little past the middle way point, and it isn't that much. I mean, it's a fight scene, but it isn't that big, splendid fight scene that the movie Gunfight, OK Corral has. Tombstone, uh, Kurt Russell as Wyatt Earp, and Val Kilmer as Doc Holliday. And for this one, I would have preferred. Kurt Russell as Wyatt Earp didn't do it for me. And then I'll keep my comments on Doc Holliday because it's positive, and I'm just going to wrap all three on that. Tombstone, it actions there. It's got quite a few one-liners in the movie. The mustache thing I thought was a little over the top. For me, I would have rather, and I know Sam Elliott's character was the older brother to Wyatt Earp, but I feel Sam Elliott would have been a better Wyatt Earp. That was just me when I was watching the movie. It's like, boy, I'd rather have Sam Elliott as Wyatt Earp. But I don't know who the heck would it, because at the time he's kind of old at that time, so it's like who's going to be his older brother? So that would have been hard to pull off, I think. But I just had that feeling. And then after the gunfight at OK Corral, there's more storyline on what happens to the Earp brothers, and so that doesn't happen in Gunfight at OK Corral. More or less, that one's a friendship between Wyatt Earp and Doc Holliday, and then at the end they have their fight, and then they kind of go on their way. Again, from 1957. So by the time Tombstone, and I forgot to write down the damn years, 1993 for Tombstone, if I remember right. They've got more research and what happened, probably, and more historians for Tombstone. And then there's Wyatt Earp with Kevin Costner as Wyatt Earp and Dennis Quaid as Doc Holliday. Out of all three movies, how they portrayed Doc Holliday, the actors they used worked on all three of them. Kirk Douglas, Val Kilmer, and Dennis Quaid. Totally, I was totally fine with how they picked Doc Holliday for all three movies. Tombstone, Wyatt Earp, kind of goes along the same line with the gunfight at the OK Corral in the middle, and shit happens to the Earp brothers and goes on from there. Little more drama story with Wyatt Earp, and I think it is a longer movie than Tombstone, if I remember right. But Tombstone got a 7.8, and Wyatt Earp got 6.7. Gunfight at OK Corral 7.1. I feel like they're all there. So that's, like I say, for those movies, they're decent westerns, all three of them. And like I say, I was impressed on the actors that played Doc Holliday on all three of them. They worked for how they were carried out. So that is my discussion, and kind of did a little something different there for movie talk. So something my brother-in-law mentioned. And I was just getting around to. I never saw Wyatt Earp, and I just, because it was a long movie. That's kind of, I think, the reason why. And I don't know. I don't know if there was negative reviews about it back in when it first came out. I don't remember. I don't know. Yeah, I just kind of stayed away from it. I think it was just because of the length of the movie. And so a couple of weeks ago, I was like, yeah, I'm going to go for it and take a shot. So I did, and try to get some more movie talk down the road here, get caught up on some movies that I've watched. So thanks again for watching, and I'm just trying to think of anything to bring up. Nothing extra. So I guess some heat's coming our way in this next week. That's supposed to get pretty crazy. So it's where we're at, and thanks. Have a great day, and enjoy.